So episode 2 of Young, Famous and African. This episode was mainly about trying to unravel the mystery from Diamond's party, because after having the most awkward party ever, they definitely had to try to understand the underlying issues and find a way to sort shit out so that things can be better moving forward. So they had like meetups here and there, and eventually a gathering where they all came together. So let's just dissect this episode because things have been building up. So welcome back to my channel, guys. If you are new here, please go to subscribe, turn on your post notifications so that I can get notified each time I post a brand new video, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. At the start of this episode, we had some of the ladies, Annie, Kai and Kelly. They came together to like gist about the whole situation, and for this part, Annie and Swanky Jerry's issue was on the table, even though Annie did not really want to say anything. In fact, she didn't even know what the situation was, so she just told Kelly to ask Swanky Jerry about the issue because she was not really aware, right? On the other hand, Swanky Jerry met with Nadia to kind of express his displeasure about Nadia and Kanye working out when he came in with Bonang to introduce her to the group. And then Nadia was just telling him that like the whole situation was just very awkward and they were not even aware that was who Swanky Jerry was coming in with, because they already left before he came in with Bonang. And yeah, for me, I feel like at this point I would have switched tables. I would have turned the tables around, because why, if you really value my reception, why is it that you brought in somebody without letting me know, and especially based on the fact that you know the history that I and this person had, right? So I would have just told you that you did not tell me, so you have no rights to be angry at this point. Although Swanky Jerry told her that he felt like they had resolved their issues, and she's like, they've not even spoken about it. Like they're still having some issues. Things are still very awkward between them, right? And obviously he tried to know what the situation was. He wanted to hear the tea. He wanted her to spill the tea, but she was not ready to spill the tea. She now decided to ask him about his own issues with Annie, and he also said that he's not gonna spill mainly because of the fact that he has not spoken to Annie about it. So he told her that he has not spoken to Annie about it, and he would not like to go around and be talking to people about it when he has not spoken to the main person. At this point, she was surprised, like, you've not spoken to her about it. Like, she doesn't even know what the situation is.
I don't want to feel like I'm telling our business to everyone without telling her what the situation is.
She doesn't even know the situation.
Like, how are you going around carrying like that burden in your heart? You're having issues with somebody, you're so mad at somebody, and the person does not even know. That's so stressful. So he just told her that he's not going to have that conversation with her. And then, you guys, Diamond is just an ashawo. Like, ashawo day in eye. Can you imagine that? Himself and Fantana have already like linked up. They had a they had a studio session together. I told you guys that the look that he was giving her when he first saw her was like, okay, I have seen where to pitch my tent, and I was not wrong, because in this their link up, it was mostly about them flirting in the name of studio session, because they're both artists and everything. So according to him, he wanted to hear her song and everything, but he was watching her music video and literally like talking about how she's all sexy and everything, and I was just like, Diamond, serious ashawo day in eye. So for the most part of the sessions, for the most part of the studio session, they were just flirting, talking about what they like and what they do not like. Fantana also mentioned that Diamond is one of her favorite artists. So I was just like, okay, this is about to be a clique. Even in this, while they were having a conversation, Diamond went as far as talking about squirting. God.
I love the old squirt. Squirting is like when a lady really comes. It's like you see like the squirting, you see, it's a vibe.
So he asked her about like the whole squirting of a thing, and she's like, she has not experienced that before. And at this point, he gave her another look. This time around, the look was giving, you don't know what you're missing, and I'm about to show you that. So there's definitely something that's going to stop, something that's going to go on between the both of them, from what I'm seeing at this point. So you know, they just continued, and that was it for their studio session. Then Nadia and Kanye, they met to, you know, talk about how they're going to go about resolving the issues in the group, because Kanye, I feel like she gives this therapist vibe. She's like the therapist of the group, because she's always the one trying to like see that everything is fine, try to talk to this person and that person. So they were having a conversation about the different people that had issues in the group. At this point, it's literally like they were mentioning names, and I was just like, it's everybody at this point, because here, you know, tension everywhere. So they were just having a conversation about that. Then at this point, they spoke about Annie, and it happened that she had traveled to Nigeria without informing anybody, and Kanye said she tried to reach her and she wasn't really like responding. Then that is when she now brought up the gist that she had heard. In fact, the gist that was going around in blogs that 2Face has another child, you know, outside their marriage. That's the gist that was going around, and it was just like, who? So apparently it just felt like that was why she traveled.
Apparently Chihuahua impregnated someone called Banker.
No, stop.
So Kanye decided to organize a get-together for the entire group so that they can sort shit out. Bad idea, by the way, because there's no way a group of people will be like, there will be so much tension in the group, and then the way to solve the problem will be bringing all of them together. It's never gonna work. You literally they have to like go in, like sort the issues out before they come together as a group. In that situation, is only going to blow it out even further. At this point, you guys, a melanin popping hot chocolate guy walks in. I'm talking melanin popping, physically fit hot chocolate dude that walked in. I was like, okay, who is this guy? So when I saw him, I was like, this guy looks familiar. I was not really sure, right? I was like, let me hear what he has to say. When he said, mainly he mentioned his name, Louis, I was like, yes, that's it. Louis was in Big Brother Africa, right? Although on his page, his Instagram page, he's like, there's nothing about, he didn't even mention Big Brother or anything. Like, he has this own Big Brother since, but I was able to recognize him, and then I had to go and Google. Like, I had to check on Google to now, that's when I now saw that, okay, this is the Louis that I know. But you guys, he's now 10 times hotter. It was hard to even recognize him. He's doing really, really well. Like, he spoke about his businesses and everything that he's doing right now. And then he is from Namibia.
My name is Luis Munana, aka Golden Boy. I am from Rundu, Namibia.
I just love the way that they're bringing in more people from other African countries. It just makes sense. Like, we have over 5 African countries right now in the mix. It's giving Big Brother Africa somehow, but an entirely different situation and an entirely different type of show. But I'm loving it. You guys continue more of that. So you guys, after they introduced Louis, it now turns out that he has history with Diamond. When I thought that we were about to dissolve all the awkwardness, now we had that both of them have the same ex. They were dating Diamond. I think Diamond dated the person, then Louis dated the person. So, for me, I was just trying to find out, like, how is it that Diamond remembers all his exes? Because I feel like there are a lot of them. How does he remember all of them? Because, so that's it for their gathering. Then we still have the underlying issues between Angela and Diamond, which they met to try and talk things out. But to me, I didn't really feel the reconciliation in that gathering, because we had Diamond that was expressing that he was not pleased with Angela going after Zari, the mother of his kids, feeling all disrespected and stuff. And then we had Angela that was telling him that, you said that you cannot be in one house with one woman, you cannot stay with one woman, you don't want to feel locked down and everything. He was literally coming from the angle of, if you're not going to be there, if you're not going to be with her, then I feel like I'm free to be with her. And Diamond wasn't really having it at this point. For me, I'm just like, why is Diamond being protective over Zari, like, you're not with her anymore, you, like, she's the mother of your kids, you're not with her anymore, so what is your problem? Although I understand where he's coming from because of the fact that himself and Andile are friends, so in that dynamics it's going to spoil the friendship that they both have, and you would expect that, you know, he wouldn't go for her, you know, that kind of thing. Like, that's just that. But Diamond, if you want to be protective of the mother of your kids, you know what to do the needful, go and hang on to her, because from Andile's angle, he was coming from like, if you're serious about her, then I'm gonna step back, but if you're not, I'm not really gonna step back. Meanwhile, Fantana is down. Like, from the conversation she had with Swanky Jerry, it was just obvious that this babe is down for Diamond. Like, we had Swanky Jerry that was just like trying to let her know that Diamond is just there to smash. She just wants to smash, and she, you know, expressed that, okay, you know, that's not a big deal. She can have that kind of relationship with him and not catch feelings. So she's down for that kind of relationship with him, right? But the way she spoke about Zari just made me feel like, are you sure you can do this no catching feelings type of relationship? Because we had her already pointing fingers at Zari for not really letting Diamond be, like letting him go, and the fact that she was saying that Zari has a problem with Diamond hanging out with other babes. Meanwhile, she's free to do what she wants to do.
I think Zari doesn't want Diamond to move on, but she is able to like date whoever she wants to. And to me, I just feel like that's not fair.
So I foresee an issue that's going to come up for the both of them, and that's not how a relationship that doesn't have feelings works. I mean, yeah, if you're going to be doing a relationship without feelings, then Zari should not be your problem. So I don't think that's gonna work, but kind of negodu. Let's be looking, let's be watching. And then Diamond and Andile met again. This time around, it was more chilled. Naked was in the mix, so it was more like he was trying to bring them together and no bad blood and everything. So it was a little bit more chilled. They just said about everything, Annie and 2FACE'S issue, and they just, you know, gisted. Then they now showed Annie. At this point, she was back in South Africa. They showed herself and 2FACE, you know, on a video call. They were just laughing, chilling and everything. Then she now said that the news about him having a child, another child, outside of their marriage is a lie. Like, you know, she debunked the rumor, right? Then in her confessional, she was talking about people not wanting to let them be, that people just want to see that there's an issue in their relationship, and just, you know, that she's not fine and everything. And the funny thing about that scene is just that the way she was saying it, like what she was saying and how she looked was kind of different. Like, she was saying, oh, everything is fine, but that confessional look was weird. Like, her gele was looking very funny, and it was just giving, I'm saying I'm fine, but I'm not really fine. That's what it was looking like. I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm not saying that she's not fine or anything, but the look there was just like, I'm not fine.
Because you guys are busy hoping or praying that something is wrong with my marriage. And you just want me to tell you, oh, innocent messed up.
So, you know, she just spoke about like, that's what people want to see, that they should just let her be. Meanwhile, at this point, Swanky Jerry had already reached out to her on hearing the news about the 2FACE situation. He just told her that let them see and talk, although she had not responded. I just wanted to point that out so that you know that he has tried to reach out, and you know, when they eventually reach out, we'll know what they're going to talk about. So now the day of the get-together. For the get-together, we had Kanye, obviously, as the one that is organizing it, the therapist of the group. So they all arrived like looking good, looking fly and everything, and she gave them face masks to wear, to like hold, and she said the significance of that is just an indication that most of them have been fake in the group, and it's time for them to like remove that cover and bear it all on the table. That was the significance of the mask. So I was like, okay, let's see how they're going to bear it all. Let's see how they're going to express everything. So while they were there, they started having a conversation. Annie now arrived, right? And I don't think she was fully aware that Annie was coming. So when she saw Annie, she now like changed it for her. She was like, why didn't you tell me that you were in Nigeria? I tried to call you, didn't reach out. So she just you know, went all out, and then Annie now apologized to her, and that was sorted. Then on the other hand, we had Zari and Andile having a conversation, and while they were having their conversation about them, Diamond walked in and saw that they were in one corner having a conversation, and Naked tried to make them like stop having a conversation and just go mingle with others. Zari wasn't having it at this point. She was not ready to stop having the conversation just because Diamond walks in. Meanwhile, Andile was trying to not cause any more trouble, so he wanted it to, like, you know, be dissolved. But Zari was having it. She's like, what are we doing wrong? Like, what do you mean that we can't have this conversation, right?
It doesn't matter if Diamond arrives.
I don't want him to find you guys together.
It doesn't matter. I can still talk to Andile.
No, but Zari,
I can still talk to him.
it looks
It's
bad.
not what you think. Are we doing anything wrong?
The whole thing with those people, it's just awkward. I actually think that they're just still, it's almost like they're still holding on to, because I don't even, why is everything like so weird and awkward? So, well, that's that chat. So it was time for them to now talk about their issues and start, like, you know, throwing tantrums if needed. So this is when Louis now walked in. Louis walked in, I swear, you guys see me, I'm coming. That's how he was carrying himself in this episode. So he just came in, and Diamond was quite surprised, right, based on the fact that they have history together. So he came in, and, you know, based on how they planned it, himself and Kanye, he was supposed to give a toast. He was just supposed to come in a grand style and give a toast, but Kanye did not have him, and Kanye did not allow him have that moment, right? She said he came in too early. He was supposed to come in late in her confessional and everything. So she continued her talk. At this point, she called Frankie, Jerry, and Annie out. Also called Andile and Diamond out. Like, she was like, fuck you guys. I was like, okay, let's see how this is going to go down. Louis, on the other hand, was just feeling very embarrassed. Like, I've been rehearsing for this, my toast, all day, and you didn't let me do that. So Andile took offense with what Kanye said, the whole fuck you ish, and it's like, are you guys going to allow her disrespect you like that? That you're not going to talk to me like that? So he just like expressed that he was not happy with it. He was just talking, and then Kanye and Nadia were trying to like defend the whole situation, saying that, you know, this is how friends call each other out and everything.
So are you comfortable being called out like that? Are you comfortable being called out with Annie like that? They're not. They need to get to their point.
And for me, to be honest, I didn't really see anything, like, it's not that deep. It's just like, I don't think she meant it literally. There are some friends that use the B word on each other, and it's not really that deep. So in that friendship situation, it's not like F you kind of thing, right? But I also think that that's not the way to resolve issues, right? They are in a group. That is not going to do anything. It's not going to help the situation. It was giving, you guys must hug each other and make up. You know how they used to try to make people up when we're young? They say, oh yeah, hug each other, force you to hug each other. That's what it was giving, and you can't resolve issues like that. Everybody is in the group, they're tense. Everybody is trying to keep their own. Everybody's trying to have their own high horse and everything. So, the whole thing wasn't looking like it was about to be resolved, and this is where the episode ended. So let's see how the next episode plays out. I'm sure they're going to start from this event before they move on to the next. So that's it for this episode. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about the season so far. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Bye. Love you.